and we'll just get Wednesday out of our system, clear, go home, and have a really wonderful night. That'll be like our goal for tonight. Any announcements? Probably the main thing to be aware of is that for New Year's, we are going to have some schedule changes. So just be aware as we get closer to New Year's Day. I believe we only have one class on New Year's Day. So just make sure you're checking ahead of time before you come in so that you don't show up and there's no class. All right, let's get started. Child's pose. Got a pretty experienced crew tonight. And rest your head on the mat. Completely drop in. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips. Take 2 or 3 sighs in order to do that. So I often think like I relaxed and like I'm relaxed. And when I take a breath, I take a sigh, I realize I actually can relax a little bit more. Yeah, 1 or 2 more sighs. Really relax in your body, the weight of your body into the floor. And then once you've gotten as relaxed as you can get, now spread your fingers out into the mat. Press your hands down and forward and lengthen your hips back towards your heels. So you're going to create a little bit of space now. From your hands up through your hips. And now breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Get plugged into your breath. Get plugged into this space, this mat, this practice tonight. And with your next inhale, lift up to downward facing dog. Yeah, bend one knee, bend the other knee. Move around, feel out through your feet, feel out through your legs. I often find my feet are numb, like the first down dog. There's not a whole lot of feeling there. So it might just be like that. Feel what you can feel. And then set your foundation. Press down through your hands, press down through your feet, and from your hands and your feet, zip up into the center of your body. Stay and breathe 2 more breaths. And blow all the air out completely, and then move your feet up to your hands. Once at the top of your mat, inhale, lift halfway up, lengthen your spine, and exhale, ragdoll pose. And so feet hip-width distance apart. And soften your knees. So your knee joints aren't locked out. There's a bend to your knees and a gliding quality inside your knee joints. And allow your upper body to dangle, just really like the quality of a ragdoll. Dangle your head down, dangle your arms down. Surrender your skull towards the floor. Surrender your day into the earth. And together, take a big breath in. Stay dangled in your upper body. Press your feet down. And through the press down, you'll unravel up. So keep the ragdoll through your upper body as you roll up. Your head is the last thing to lift. Lift up. Stretch your arms up. Reach all the way up. Maybe reach back. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Set your eyes, set an intention for your practice tonight. And we'll begin with 3 ohms. Inhale. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, drop your head all the way down. And then inhale, lift halfway up. Press your seat back, your head forward. Plant your palms, step back, high to low, push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press your seat back. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Breath in, 2 more. And out. Here's your last breath in. Bend your knees, look forward. Move your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway up. And fold. Press down through your feet, reach up. Extended mountain pose, stretch. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up, lengthen through your spine. Low push up, take it back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Good. Take your last breath in. Blow all the air out, bend your knees. Move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift up. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Lift the sides of your body up towards your ears. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Press the thumb side of each hand down into the floor. So the inner part of your hand, roll that into the mat. Good. Now grip with your fingertips. Breathe in. Bend your knees. Breathe out. Jump. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift up and fold. Extended mountain pose. Reach up. Look up. Fold. Halfway lift up. Press your seat back. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Welcome, Brandon. 2 more breaths. Expand your breath. Warm your body from the inside out using your breath. Then last breath in. Blow all the air out. Jump. Halfway lifts. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Reach. Fold. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. You've got 2 more sun A's. With these last 2 sun salutations, put your attention on your eyes. And so what that means is you're really going to pay attention to where you set your eyes at. Okay, take 1 more breath in. Bend your knees, look at the top of your mat. Jump. Inhale, lift halfway up, look at the top of your mat. Fold, look at the back of your mat. Extended mountain pose, reach up. If you can look up between your hands, and then fold, eyes to the back of your mat. Inhale, look at the top of your mat. Low push up, keep your eyes at the top of your mat. Up dog, if you can look up. Downward facing dog, look at the back of your mat. Good, take 3 breaths. So it's really just 3 things you ever look at. It's either the top of your mat, the back of your mat, or the ceiling. Make it that simple. Last breath in. Bend your knees, look at the front of your mat, jump. Halfway lift, look at the front, fold, look at the back. Reach up, look up at the sky right between your hands, fold, look at the back of your mat. Halfway lift, look at the front, low push up, look at the front. Upward facing dog, look at the sky. Downward facing dog, look at the back of your mat. Good, 3 more breaths. Keep your eyes set at the back edge of your mat. 2 more. 1 more breath in. Bend your knees, look at the front of your mat. Jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose. Reach up, look up towards the ceiling. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Work your drishti. Down dog. Now right side warrior 1. Step. Reach up. If you can look up between your hands, do that. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot warrior 1. So if looking up doesn't work, look straight ahead. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open your mouth and sigh. Now 2 more breaths. Last breath in. Bend your knees, jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift, drishti, fold, drishti. Chair pose, drishti, fold, drishti. Lift halfway up, see a point, low push up, and then take it back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step, reach up, look up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side warrior one. So you're not dragging your gaze, look right up, reach up, low push up. See right at the top of your mat. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Where you look is so important. Everything else will follow what you look at. Breath in, bend your knees, look, then jump. Halfway lift up, fold. Chair pose, look up, fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side warrior one, reach right up, look up, low push up. Up dog, down dog, left side warrior one, flick your eyes up, low push up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more sun bees. Breathe in, bend your knees, jump. Half lifts, fold. Chair pose, fold. Half lifts. Chaturanga, drishti. Upward facing dog, down dog, right side warrior one. As a skill you're building, set your drishti, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side warrior one. See a point, reach, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, awesome. One more sandhi. On this last one, as you set your drishti, see if you can notice the ability to feel your body moving without looking at it. Okay, here's your last breath in. Bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway lift, see your point, and fold. Chair pose, see a point, feel your whole body, and fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. So even as you move through space, can you feel your whole body? Low push up. Upward dog, feet, hands, and core. Downward facing dog, left side warrior one. Set your eyes, feel your whole body. Low push up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, blow it out. And then inhale your right leg up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip. Flip dog. Step all the way off the right side of your mat. Right? So in this pose, you have no orientation. You cannot see your body in space at all. Set your eyes to one point and feel your 2 feet pressing evenly down into the floor. So your right has as much weight as the left foot has. Good. Take one more breath in and then flip back. High plank. Bring your big toes to touch. Feel them touch. Then side plank. Heels right, left hand high. Good. Go where you're going to go. So you might lift your leg. Colin's got that. You might add some extra supports like Marianne and May both have their feet staggered. That's good. Even go wider, May. So bring your whole front foot this way. So the inner edge is on the floor. Now press both feet down. That's it. Stretch your top arm all the way up. Then 2 hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good. Breath in. Let a sigh come out. And then lift your left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip, flip dog. Right? So don't wait until Shavasana to feel good. That's kind of like the thing. Set your eyes right here and feel your body even as you're experiencing maybe some challenge. Feel your 2 feet. Feel all 5 of your bottom fingertips pressed into the floor. Good. And then flip back. High plank. Big toes touch. Side plank. Good. And feel what you need. If it's stability, put more points of contact on the floor. If you're feeling pretty stable and you want some freedom, lift your top leg up. Nice, Mackenzie. Now 2 more breaths. Light up your foundation, your hands and your feet. Here's your last breath in. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot to your right thumb, crescent lunge. Set your eyes straight ahead right away. So at this part in the practice, you have to kind of get smart about where your eyes go. You can look straight or up. It is up to you. You got to get smart. The beautiful thing about looking up is no one is up there to wobble around and throw you off, right? But if you look straight ahead, I'm going to walk in front of you or someone's going to wobble in front of you and it could throw you. So set your eyes at one point and feel both feet on the floor. So can you feel all four corners of your front foot? And if not, move around a little bit and get that contact. And then can you feel the big toe and baby toe of the back foot on the floor and even pressure on each side of your foot back there? Once you got that, take a breath in, hands to heart, hinge forward and twist to the right side, crescent twist. Now set your eyes, breathe. I like to take a sigh at the beginning of every pose. It just helps me settle in. And then feel your feet again. All four corners of the front foot, especially the front heel. Yeah. The big toe and the baby toe of the back foot. Some more big toe, Colin. Yes. That's it. Now take a breath in here. Blow all the air out. Press down through your feet. Inhale up, crescent lunge. And open up, warrior two. Set your eyes over your front middle finger. You'll also be so tempting to look everywhere. See if you can look at one spot, like your middle finger nail. You look right at that spot. And then feel your feet, all four corners of both feet pressing down. Good. Take a breath in. Now tilt, extended side angle. Right arm to the inside of your front thigh. Could be a block, the floor. Using for support, yeah. And then use your right arm to guide your right inner knee forward. So keep your arm right there and hug your right outer hip back. That's it. Your left hip can drop down a little bit. Now 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath, extend through your spine, and then 2 hands to the floor, low push-up. Flow through, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot to your left thumb, crescent lunge. Set your eyes to a point. Good. Feel your feet. All right, so if you don't have the front part of your front foot, you probably need to bend your knee more. If you don't have the heel of your front foot, your knee might be too far forward, or you might be gripping your toes. And so settle into all 4 corners of your front foot. Feel that contact. Good. Take a breath in. Hands to heart. Tip and twist to the left side. Good. Get so interested in your contact with the floor and then in choice about how you're making that contact. So whatever your foot is doing by default doesn't have to be the ultimate contact you have. So move around, shift your weight around, feel both feet firmly planted. Take a breath in, blow it out, press your feet down, and come all the way up to crescent lunge. Open up to warrior two. Good. The tendency here is for the front foot to overload. So that's definitely true in my body. My front foot is the first thing to get loaded. That sounded like a drinking thing. So my front foot is heavier. I tend to straighten my front leg a little bit so I can press my back foot down more. Then come back into my front leg. So feel that you have both feet pressing down evenly. Then take your breath and tilt, extended side angle. Your front foot probably loaded again. And so press your back foot into the floor more. That's it, Kevin. Especially your back baby toe. I'm sorry, the back big toe pressing down. Back heel pressing down. So get plugged into your back leg and all the way up from your back leg, stretch out through the top of your head. Now 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath. Get all the length you can, head to heart or head to heel, and then 2 hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, blow all the air out, jump your feet up to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Chair pose. Good. Set your eyes, feel your feet. Good. Hip width distance apart and parallel they go. And now sink your hip creases and your sitting bones back. So you're going to deepen the crease at the front of your hips as much as you can. All right, bring your hands to heart center, hinge forward, and twist to the right side, crescent twist. Lift your toes up and press your heels down to move more of your body weight back, your hips back towards the back of the mat like that. That's it, Paul. Now 2 more breaths. As your hips stretch back, stretch the top of your head up and forward. With the next inhale, chair pose, reach up and fold, fingers to toes, forward fold. Good. Bend your knees a lot. Good. Drop your head all the way down. You can even bend more. Take your feet wider and bend more so that when you drop, it's just like that ragdoll feeling in your upper body. Good. Take 2 big breaths there. Good. And then release your toes, chair pose. Build it back up from your feet. Shift weight back into your hips. So you'll lift your toes up and set your hips further back behind you. That's it. Now take a big breath in there. Hands to heart, twist to the left side. And work your hips back. It seems like no matter how long I practice, this particular skill of like really getting the hips back is one that I can never like get beyond having to get intentional about. So really press your weight back into your heels. Stretch the top of your head forward. So get as long as you can from your tail to your crown. Take 1 more breath. Stay, blow it out. Come up through chair pose and fold gorilla pose. Gorilla. Bend your knees, step onto your palms. And at the bottom, bend your elbows, pull on your feet, and draw your upper body down over the top of your thighs. And let the weight of your head drop all the way down. You can nod your head yes, shake your head no. So really feel that flow, the quality of throw through your neck, from your upper back down through your neck to your crown. Pop in a sigh. See if you can let go even a little bit more. Drop your head all the way out. And then step off your hands, crow pose at the top of your mat. Good. Hand shoulder width, knees wide. Look forward to prevent the nosedive. And now breathe. 5, 4, grip your fingertips down into the floor. 3, really good. 2, and 1, feet to the back of your mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Press back, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in. On the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, jump. Top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. At the top, roll all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up, stretch high. Exhale, eagle pose. Feet together, bend your knees, wrap your right leg over top of your left. Good. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. This is like the pat your head, rub your stomach kind of exercise. It takes a little brain muscle, brain work. And I'll take a side to settle. Settle into your standing heel. Good. Step out, reach up, take a fresh breath in. Left side eagle pose. So something I experienced that I'm looking around and seeing happen around the room is a lot of you are kind of in your big toe and the heel's not really planting. Shift some weight back into your heel. So it's going to require pulling your front ribs and the pit of your belly back towards the back of the room. Take 1 more breath. And then step down, reach up, right side eagle pose, second set. Bend, wrap, and sit. And so what a lot of us are doing is our knee goes forward and we end up in our toe. So instead, pull your ribs and the pit of your belly back, settle back into your heel. You'll notice you'll have to squeeze harder to keep yourself balanced. Give it one more breath. And then step down, stretch all the way up, left side eagle pose. And you've got 5 breaths to shift your weight back, so use all of them, all 5 of those breaths. You don't have to get your heel planted on the first breath. Really good. I look around and out, or all planted through the heel. Take one more breath. And then step down. On the inhale, reach up at the top of your mat. Catch your hips. Lift your right knee up. Catch your right knee or your right big toe and extend your knee for standing single leg raise. Soften your standing knee and press your standing heel into the floor. Okay, take your leg out to the right. Flick your eyes, look off to the left, pick a wise spot to look at. So it might be like a letter on the poster. You probably don't want to look at the moving cars outside, so pick something that's still. Take one more breath. Come back to center. Kick your right leg forward, reach up, airplane pose. Look straight ahead as you kick your right leg back. So notice, look down for a moment and look what happens. You'll feel probably your chest dip down a little bit towards the floor. Now look forward and notice what happens. You'll probably notice your chest almost naturally lifts up a little bit higher. You want your chest uplifted, especially from where we're going next. Take one more breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Now half moon. Keep your chest lifted. Left hand down. Right arm high. A block for most of us. A hovering bottom hand for some of us. Good. And now 3 more breaths. Stretch all the way out from the center of your body. Stretch out through your arms and out through your leg. Take a full breath in. And then 2 feet to the floor and fold. Dangle your upper body down. Take a breath to soften. And then press down through your feet. Roll up. Reach up. Catch your hips. Bend your left knee. Catch your knee or your big toe and extend. So experience has taught me that until my eyes set to a point, I will not get my heel. Everything will be more interesting to me than getting my heel planted. But when your heel is planted, what you'll feel is you have way more of your leg and your strength called in to support you here. Take your leg to the left. Flick your eyes, see 1 point to the right. Take a breath with a sigh to settle. And 1 more breath in. Come back to center. Kick your left leg forward, reach high, airplane pose, kick back. Set your gaze forward. And so forward for some of you might just be like a foot in front of your mat. For some of you, it will be the front of the room. So it's all going to depend on your neck and what feels right. Yeah, with your next inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Right hand to the floor, left arm high. Half moon. Keep your toes, your right toes pointed to the front of the room. Your foot is going to try to turn in. Keep your toe at 12 o'clock. Bend your standing knee a little bit if you need to, and plug your standing heel into the floor. Good. Take a breath in. Now stretch up through your top arm. 2 hands to the floor and fold. Take a breath in, a breath out. If you're using a strap for dancer pose, grab it. On the inhale, come rolling up to stand. Dancer pose on the right side. Bend your right knee. If you're using your right hand, catch the inside. So turn your right hand to face that side of the room. Yep, and catch the inside. That's it. Now gather your knees into hip width distance apart. Then kick your right shin straight back. That's it. Reach your left arm forward. Take a sigh and plug your standing heel down. So kind of really plug your heel. And it's going to come from ease actually more than effort. Take a sigh to settle your heel. One more breath. And then step all the way out of the pose. 2 feet to the floor. And then set it up on the left side, dancer pose. Your heart rate will go up in dancer. So a sigh in between can help. And then catch and go. The skill is in navigating the balance between effort and ease. So there's an effort in kicking and reaching, and there's an ease in settling and sinking your heel down. Take one more breath, and then step out. 2 feet to the floor, hands to your hips. Get a big breath in, and a sigh out. And then one more set. Dancer pose, right side. Bend, catch, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come all the way down. Left side dancer pose. Second set. Bend, catch, and go. And get that staying on your foot isn't the goal, right? The balance you're working on is the balance of effort and ease. If you happen to stay on one foot the whole time, cool. And if playing that edge knocks you out, that's practice today. Take one more breath, reach out, and then 2 feet to the top of your mat. Good. Tree pose, right foot to your left inner thigh, hands to the center of your heart. Press down through your standing heel, press in through your foot, thigh, and palm, and then reach all the way up through the top of your head and your hands. Open your fingers all the way up. Take a breath in, lift up through your crown, and then step down to the top of your mat. Left side tree pose. Got hands to heart, plug in, and then reach up. The temptation is to play it safe here because you're on one foot. But see if you can plug in your heel in a way that you will go big in the way that you reach up. So really root down. That's the wisdom of the tree in order to stretch up as high as you can. Take a breath and then step down. 2 feet at the top of your mat. Press down through your feet. Reach up. Big breath in. Exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands. Triangle pose. A block to the outside of your right ankle. Left arm towards the sky. So nice after all that balancing. We worked your hamstrings a lot. Now you get to stretch them out. Good. 2 more breaths. Breath in. Breath out. Press both feet down. And then come all the way up to stand. All 10 toes face the left long side of your mat. Catch your hips, lift your heart. And fold down between your feet. Drop your hands between your feet. And dangle your head down towards the space between your feet. I love and see Mackenzie nodding her head front to back. Tina's shaking her head no. And so that movement really helps to encourage and feel that you really have the quality of dropping, surrendering down through your skull. With your next exhale, catch your waist, press down through your feet, and come all the way up to stand. Turn to the front, reverse namaste, front facing forward fold. So you can bind your hands behind your back. Good, so that can be reverse namaste, hence the name, or your hands stacked if that's tight. Then inhale, fold over your front thigh. As you fold, keep your spine long rather than allowing your spine to round. The trick for that is press your front heel down. So we've done a lot of kind of discovery work with our heels grounding. And from your heel, drive your butt towards the back of the room. As your butt goes back, press the top of your head to the front of the room. That's it. Take a breath in. With the exhale, drop your hands, twisting triangle pose. So a block on the inside of your front foot. Left hand to the block, right arm to the sky. Keep your spine long, tail to crown. With every inhale, get longer. That's it. And with every exhale, twist. Inhale, get long. And exhale, twist. Here's your last breath in. On the exhale, ring out. 2 hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Good. Breath in, breath out. And step your left foot between your hands, triangle pose. Left hand to the outside of your ankle. It encourages you to lean back a little bit towards the wall behind you. So shift some weight into that hand. May try your block. Leaning on the shin is okay. What's not great about leaning on your shin is it actually and typically pushes your shin down and locks your front knee out. So you want to keep your front knee joint soft. Press your foot down, front foot, and now lean back into your left hand. See how it just kind of opens everything up? Yeah. Take one more breath in. Blow it out. Now stand all the way up. 10 toes face the right long side of your mat. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. And then fold down between your feet. So your first wide-legged, you had your hands to kind of help a little bit. Your second one, you don't have your hands. So you really have to work your feet. Because the next step is lean towards your toes. Right before you would somersault is where you stop. At that point, press your heels down and allow your hands to fall behind your head as far as they will go. So they're going behind your head. Let gravity take your arms. Feel how your feet and your legs hold you at this balancing point, even as your arms begin to fall towards the floor behind your head. Take one more breath in. With the breath out, bring your hands to your low back, catch your waist, stand all the way up. Reverse namaste, face the front of the room. And fold. The wisdom of the practice is you'll discover that we go from poses that have a lot more stability to poses that have less and less stability. So as you build the strength and awaken your strength in the stabler poses, you discover that you have the strength to hold and sustain yourself as that foundation starts to get peeled away from you. Where you're at, take one more breath, and now drop your hands, twisting triangle pose. So we're in your crescent twist and in your prayer twist. You had a lot of stability from your legs through bending your knees and squatting down. You don't have the same stability here. Your access comes from fully stretching your hips back and your head forward. Feel how there's a stability that comes in from really stretching yourself out. And then every inhale, get long, and every exhale, twist. Shift this hip up and back more. Good. 2 more breaths. One more breath in. Twist. And then 2 hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in your down dog. Clear it out. And then slide out. High plank. And lower it all the way down to the floor. Locust pose. Stretch your palms back, hands back. Flip your palms down. Forehead to the top of your mat. And with the inhale, lift your legs, lift your heart, and stretch your fingers for the back of the room. So this is your most stable back bend that we'll do today. You have the whole floor supporting you from the top of your thighs, up through your pelvis, up through your belly, even up towards the bottom of your ribs. So feel that support. Take one more breath, and then lower it all the way down. Wag your tail side to side, one time each side. And then second set, locust. Set it up and come up. Okay. Turn your inner ankles up towards the ceiling. That would be your baby toes turning down towards the floor. Good. Flex your feet. And it's this action, like that. Good. Now get as long as you can from your heel to your head. Take a breath and lower it all the way down. Beautiful. Wag your tail side to side. It could even just be like you wag your butt. You don't have to get your legs involved, I find. Then up next is floor bow. Bend your knees. Catch the top of your ankle with each hand. Could also be one side at a time. Gather your knees into hip width distance apart, and then kick your shin bones back. So you're going to get a little bit less foundation now, right? So about now your ribs start lifting up. Your thighs start lifting up. You're balancing on your abdomen and the pelvis, the front of your pelvis. Breathe here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in, and lower it all the way down to the floor. Pause to relax. And then second set, floor bow. Bend your knees, catch your ankles, gather your knees in, and kick back. Use the floor to press your abdomen up into your body. So the floor is creating stability at your center. 2 more breaths. Keep your belly pulled in. It's your chest that moves for you to breathe. Take 1 more breath, and then lower it all the way down. Good. Breath in, breath out to soften. And then plant your hands beside your lowest ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Peel up. Downward facing dog, press back. From your hands all the way up through your hips, get long as you can with 1 breath in, a breath out, and then drop to your knees, 1 camel pose. 1 camel. So even less foundation now. And all that work that you had the floor doing for you, where the floor kind of gave your core the integration, now you are going to take that and make that happen yourself. So set your hands, draw the pit of your belly in, lift up, and then move back. So hands can stay at your butt or hands can go to your heels. Continue to pull your belly in and up towards the ceiling as you take the back bend. Good. Breathe all up into your chest. 2 more breaths. So can you get your breath to go up underneath your collarbones and feel your collarbones move as you breathe? Good. With your next inhale, lift your chest up and out of the pose. Get up nice and tall. And then downward facing dog. Press your hands into the mat. Stretch it back. Take a breath in. Blow the air out. Look forward. Step or jump to a seat. Lie onto your back. Bridge pose right away. Plant your feet hip width. Lift your hips up into the air. All right, you don't have the floor engaging your core for you anymore, but you do have gravity in this pose. And so allow gravity to sink your front ribs with an exhale and the pit of your belly down towards the center of your body. Every exhale, can you settle your front ribs in a little bit more? In my body, it almost feels like I'm losing the back bend. It feels like I'm starting to round a little bit, but I'm actually not. You might start to feel the front of your back body stretching. So the front of your spine starts to stretch. The deep muscles in your hip flexors might start to stretch. Take 1 more breath in, and then roll all the way down to the floor. So you've got 5 more. You can do that, bridge, 5 more times, or you can take it to a wheel pose. So pick where you're going. If it's wheel, set your hands wide and deep. Wide, like mat width distance apart wide. Like Kevin, go wider. Roy, go wider. Marianne, even go wider with your hands. Oh, definitely Kat, go wider. Then inhale and press it all the way up. If it's going to wheel. 1, 2, see a point with your eyes. 3, 4, and 5, tuck your chin, come all the way down. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Number 2, bridge your wheel, set up the wide base, and then come up. So the narrow base tends to get us stuck on our shoulders. The wide base, you just get more room around your shoulders, your neck, your chest. You're going to take one more breath in and lower it all the way down to the floor. Get your breath. 3 to go. Marianne's up there holding it. I dig it. Number 3, come on up. Good. Let's see. Brandon at home. He's got the wheel going too. Nice. 3 more breaths. Kat's lifting a leg up. Kevin's lifting a leg up. So if you've got a next level in your pose, go there. Good. 2 feet to the floor. Come all the way down. Get a breath in and a breath out. 2 to go. Set it up and come up. With everything upside down as you are, set your eyes and feel your body in space. Feel where you are. 1 more breath, and then come all the way down. Breath on the floor. 1 more to go. Set up and come up. Last one. On this last one, focus on your drishti. Keep your eyes open. It will be tempting to close them. Keep them open. See what you see, no matter whatever it is what you see. There's nothing you have to see. Take 1 more breath and come all the way down to the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana. Good. Feet together, knees wide. Let your spine neutralize here. Keep your eyes open. And so if you're looking at a light, that's probably not the wisest spot to look at. Look where there isn't a light burning your eyes. It's the cool thing about your eyeballs, they can move. There's nothing you ever have to look at. Yeah, dead bug pose. When I very first started practicing, like I want to say 60% of the time my eyes were closed. And I had it in my mind like the only way to feel my body was to close my eyes. Either like my eyes were open and I was distracted, or my eyes were closed and then I could feel my body. And it made it that like to feel, I had to close my eyes, which made it like I couldn't feel my body during the day. And it was through practice and training my eyes to stay open and then at the same time feel. Can you see what you're seeing and feel what you're feeling at the same time? Good. Bring your knees back together. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Sit on your hands or stretch your hands down the mat. So if your low back needs support, that's a good time to sit on your hands. If your low back feels pretty strong tonight, hands alongside. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, lower your right foot to hover. Take a breath in, and then exhale, switch. Breath in, exhale, switch. Breath in, exhale, switch. Go side to side, you got 30 seconds. So you, yogi, play. You can go faster, you can go slower. You could bend your knees, you could have your legs straight. The intention of this sequence is stability. So have that as your true north, your north star as you move. So what action gives me the result of stability? 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Both legs up to the ceiling. Take a breath in and exhale, lower your legs a third of the way down. Breath in, another third. Breath in, hover your legs, look up towards your feet, and then inhale, lift your legs back up towards the sky. Hug your knees to your chest, Rock and roll forward and back, 1, 2, 3. On the third one, boat pose. Boat pose. And as you take your boat, feet to the floor for this one. So bend your knees, feet go down, your feet are hip width distance apart. If you've got something to hold, so that could be a block. If you have a water bottle with a tight top on it, you can use that too, but have something in your hand. You can be creative with it. If you're totally without, you can do prayer hands, but this is going to be harder, okay? So heels down, knees bent, you're on your sitting bones. Now tip back, keeping a long spine until you feel like, okay, that's the edge. You'll feel your abdominals kick on. Block or whatever you're holding to your chest, elbows wide. You're going to stay right here. Take a breath in. Keep whatever it is glued to your chest. And on the exhale, turn to the right. So you're reaching your right elbow towards the floor. Inhale, come back. Do not come up. And exhale, twist to the left. Good. We're going to do 6 more. Inhale, twist right. Inhale, twist left. You're going to do 4 more. Good. Do 3 more. Elbows nice and wide. Good. 2 more each side. Good. 1 more each side. Really good. You guys make this look easy. Come back to center. Now full boat. Whatever full boat is to you. So that could be bent knees. It could be straight legs. Hold your legs. Straighten your arms. Play with it. Some of you look really comfortable, I'm going to say, like kind of hanging out. So if you're here pretty cozy, start playing with straightening your legs. Can you take your arms over your head? Can you get like your head and your legs together? That's good for handstands. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Cross your shins. Plant your hands at the top of your mat. Downward facing dog. That's a good feeling when you're like done. When your abs are like, we're done. Half pigeon on the right side. Good. Half pigeon on the right side. Yeah. And Mackenzie, you can take your knee more to the right. It looks a little tight. Yeah. So if your right hip is tight, take your knee more towards the right. Your leg does not have to go straight forward. My hip actually doesn't work that way. My leg cannot go straight forward. I run into my hip joint like bone on bone if I try to get my thigh to go parallel to the side of the mat. So it might be like that. Go a little bit wider. You look at just a touch tight. Yeah. Now sink your right hip towards the floor like that. Does that feel better? Relax your head down as much as you can. Relax your shoulders as much as you can. And breathe. So tempting to close your eyes, but keep them open. The power of a drishti is not what it is that you're looking at. It's the ability to look at and concentrate on one thing. Can you look at like the sweat drip on your mat and hold your attention there for the next 5 breaths? Take 1 more breath, and then switch sides. And as soon as you can think to do it, set your eyes to a point. A lot of times yoga is credited with de-stressing and bringing a sense of calm to our thinking and our bodies. And it's really not magic that does it. It's this skill that we work of just letting your eyes look at one thing at a time. Our brains love to be able to concentrate, even when we maybe egotistically don't like it so much. See if you can look at one thing. And you'll hear the voices like, this is boring. That's what I hear. This is boring. There's other things to look at. Or I'll hear a sound and I want to see what's making the sound. But see if you can set your eyes to one spot. And for 5 breaths, knowing like you're safe and solid right where you're at, there's nothing interesting that's going to happen. With those 5 breaths, can you look at that one spot and be unwavering in your focus? Good. Sit all the way up. Come up to your hands. Swing your right leg forward. Lie onto your back. We're doing a modification of seated single leg extension. So as you lie back, hug your right knee towards your right shoulder. So if your right knee was happier going wider in half pigeon, your knee is going to be happier going wider here. So go more to your shoulder, not so straight up your chest. Good, you've got that spot. Now stretch your left leg down the mat. Catch the back of your right thigh with both hands. Flex your right foot, and now kick your right heel up towards the ceiling. So see if you can do this with your hands under your knee. So you'll be playing with, can you get your leg straight through the strength of your leg rather than pulling on your toe or something like that to get your leg to be extended. And take 5 breaths there. Good. Settle your right hip down towards the mat as your right heel continues to press up towards the ceiling. Take 1 more breath in. On the exhale, crunch your nose up towards your knee. So it's just 1 exhale to crunch up, and then lower it all the way back down. Good. Switch sides. Left knee up and in towards your left shoulder. Catch behind your left thigh, and then kick your left leg towards the ceiling. So any of you who are working on trying to straighten out your knees, it's this action. Not the flexibility of your knee, but the strength of your legs to extend your knee without any force being put on your knee to do it. And then breathe. Release to the back of your left leg with every exhale. Here's your last breath in. On the exhale, curl your nose to your knee and your knee to your nose. And then lie all the way back. Take both legs up to the ceiling. Take both legs over your head to plow. Hands to the middle of your back. And then walk your shoulders under you as deep as you can go. Good. You can stay in plow. This is a nice pose to stretch out your back and your legs. Or you can 1 leg at a time. Take your feet up to the sky for shoulder stand. 5 breaths. Your inversions are the culmination of the drishti that you've developed over class. So you are now totally upside down. You have no sense of like where your feet, where your shoulders, where anything is. And so it's having created this relationship of feeling your body from the inside that gives you your orientation, rather than looking at your body and how it's relating to your environment on the outside. So can you feel your upper arms pressing down? Can you feel your legs reaching up towards the ceiling and know that they're reaching? Okay, take 1 more breath there, and then come back to plow. Do you know the floor is going to be there when you get to the floor? And then breathe and feel. Are your hips right over your shoulders? That's where you want them. Not over your head. That's too far. So hips close enough to the front of your mat that it's your shoulders grounded and not your head and neck. Okay, take 3 more breaths there. For me and my body, this is a really tight position. This part in my back gets really, really tight. Okay, give it one more breath. And then bend your knees around your ears and round your spine. Take a couple breaths with a rounded spine so you're stretching and opening even like the saran wrap at the surface of the back of your body. Good. And then slowly reach your arms down the mat, one vertebra at a time, roll down onto your back. Once you're unraveled, hug your knees into your chest, drop your knees to the left, your eyes to the right. Okay. And take a supine twist. One breath. And then gather your knees back through center. Change sides. Okay. Come back to center. Supta Baddha Konasana. Good. Stretch your arms down alongside your body with your palms facing up. And take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And straighten your legs, Shavasana. Beginning of practice, you would come into this pose, and some of you were there, and you'll go to sleep, right? You kind of like drift off. But after practice, after taking each pose and flooding your body with attention and intention, see that now you can come into this place of physically resting. Your body is physically still. And at the same time, even now with your eyes closed, your attention is tuned all the way up to your body, to your thoughts, and to your feelings as they exist and occur to you right now. Good. Now take a deep breath in. Blow it out through your mouth. Gently hug your knees up into your chest. And then roll over to a side. Pause right here and feel. And if that attention, I notice like that attention gives me the feeling of being watched. Like that feeling like someone's watching me. And it's you watching you. So can you relax under your own gaze and let yourself be seen by yourself? And keeping your eyes closed, come up to a seated position. In your seat, bring your hands to heart center. Sit up to your full height, shoulders on your back, chest nice and wide. Take a big breath in and clear it out. And then with your eyes closed, see from the skin in, see you, the space that you are, the space you occupy from the skin in. It's like we know there's organs in there, we know there's cells and atoms and all that in there, but your feeling of it is as a space. You feel a space. So into that space, set an intention for the rest of your night, maybe the second half of your week. What will you create this space as? And then feel it, that you can feel it. If it's joy, if it's love, if it's strength, if it's flexibility, feel it as a felt sense within. You know, and then we'll seal that and close with 3 ohms. Take a breath in. Lift your thumb knuckles to the center of your forehead. Take a big breath in. The last one together, blow it out. And together we say, Namaste. Namaste. Great job tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for making it out. Brandon, thank you for tuning in. Brandon's like all the way over on the West Coast. It's kind of cool to see people from like other parts of the country tune in and take class together. It's like we've got a class that spans across the nation. That's kind of cool. So good to see you, Brandon. If anyone has questions about the goings on of the studio, always feel free to ask. Any of the stuff that you borrowed, like the props, anything you were handed, like the assistant cards, drop them in front of the props on the floor over in the corner so I can just make sure that they get cleaned. And otherwise, have a great rest of your night, everybody. And when the towels, too, they go in the hampers right outside the doors.